Hey everybody, this is Carla and I am back with an encouraging word. Today the Lord laid something on my heart. He laid 3 words on my heart: protection, provision, and providence. So I thought about the times in my life that I can now look back and see God's hand of protection over me. And I'll give you a few examples, very practical examples. I've had 2 very serious car accidents. One of them, a tornado picked me up off of I-10 and threw me down the side. It was an embankment. Well, what I didn't know at the time was there were only 2 trees at the edge of a ravine, a 100-foot drop-off. Well, my car hit those 2 trees. That wasn't an accident, but that was God's protection. Because if I had gone over the side of that ravine, I would not be here today. Then I had another car accident where a Pepsi truck ran a red light. They were trying to beat the yellow light. I turned, I was T-boned, and I was okay. So the first accident, I didn't even have a scratch on me. Not one scratch, not one bruise, nothing. The second accident was a more powerful accident, and I had some bumps and bruises, and I had to walk with a cane for a while, but I never had a broken bone. And I so distinctly remember the doctor saying, not only do you not have any broken bones, but you're alive, and you should not even be alive. Your car should not have been able to take that impact, and you should not be with us right now. Then the third time the Lord protected me and saved my life was the night that I tried to take my life. I was heavy in addiction, and that night was going to be the last night of my life. And I remember the next day when the knock came on my door, and I woke up and I was mad because I was alive. Then the next time that I saw that I could be in a deadly situation, I was in jail. And 15 months, not one person put their hand on me. Not one person put their hands on me. Now, what you don't know is I'm a tiny person. I'm 5'1", and back then I weighed maybe 85 pounds. And I was an easy target. But every time someone would get upset with me, the Lord would put a woman in between me and that other person. And it was usually a big woman, like a big, 6 foot tall woman that could handle pretty much any man that came at her. But nobody ever put their hand on me. So God has protected me throughout my life. And those are just the things in my adult life. I don't recall things in my childhood, but I'm sure there were things. And then God has provided for me. God has provided everything I've needed, emotionally, physically, spiritually. He's provided my healing. He's provided me a place to live. I have a job. I have a vehicle. I got the vehicle exactly when I needed it. I didn't get more or less than. Actually, I did get more of a vehicle than I anticipated, because I was willing to settle for whatever $2,500 could buy off the side of the road. And that was, not going to be a safe, reliable vehicle. But the Lord had one picked out, and it took me, I didn't have to do anything to get this vehicle. It was crazy. And then His providence in my life. So I looked up providence because the Lord laid these 3 words on my heart last night. And providence is God's intervention in the universe. Now, I'm not going to act like I understand everything about providence. But I do know that God steps in when you need Him most. He steps in, and He has, His intervention in the universe. He intervenes on your behalf. He sends divine appointments. He sends divine intervention. He steps in when you need Him most. Okay? He steps in. He knows when to step in. He knows what He's doing in your life. He knows what's best. And He steps in and divinely intervenes at just the right moment. And I know we all need His divine intervention, or we need Him to make divine appointments for us. And, sometimes that's just a person coming to speak a word over you that confirms what God has already been speaking to you. It's not something new to you. Usually it's something you've already been feeling in your heart. But there are times that we need God to divinely intervene directly in our lives. And He will. He will intervene and do things to change the course of your life that you never could have seen coming. So I don't know who needed to hear that today. Maybe you're struggling with something. I have a particular situation that I need God to step in. I need Him to handle this situation because I can't. There's absolutely nothing in my power that I can do about this situation, but He can. Because there is nothing impossible for Him. And I mean nothing. So if you need God's intervention in your life today, just tell Him. He already knows you need it. But be specific. Ask Him what you want Him to do. I am very specific when I pray. People that know me know I will ask you. Don't just tell me you need me to pray for you. I need to know specifics. I don't need to know so I know your business. But I want to specifically pray what is needed from God in your life. You know, the Lord He's a God of order and not chaos. And He puts everything in order. He lines everything up in our lives as only He can. Okay? So don't forget, He's got you in the palm of His hand. Today and every day, be encouraged. Bless others. Hold on to hope. Believe in God's promises and trust in the Lord always.